I'm Hailey.
I'm Sean.
And welcome to Hailey Hates Everything.
I pick a surprise topic.
And I get high and opinionated so we can discuss it together.
So grab a snack and hang out with us for
Hailey Hates Everything.
I love that. All right.
Hey, wait, are you recording?
I am.
I'm just dicking around over here, and you're recording.
Indeed. Welcome to Hailey Hates Everything. This is episode 2, the mini episode for the Hack My Life episode.
Episode. I'm Hailey, and I'm high.
And I'm Sean, and I'm a little bit high, I guess.
Oh, are you? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Getting there.
Oh, okay.
So we're kind of doing like a mini episode to go over some of the stuff from the first one.
And so this will happen every time.
Yeah. We want to kind of get some feedback and hear from you guys on what you guys thought. And also, we might do some research or maybe do some experiments.
Dun, dun, dun. We'll talk about that in a minute, right?
Yes.
Oh, man. I feel way less stressed now that the first episode is out. I feel good about that. Are you happy that it's out and it's happening? It's out in the world?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I was just so stressed out. I couldn't sleep, but people seem to be liking it, so that's cool. It's a part of my personality that I feel a lot of people haven't seen, don't see, so then I was really self-conscious and...
Oh, yeah.
Whenever you put yourself out there in any way, anybody could reject you at any time. So those are my issues, people. And sometimes we're going to talk about actual real shit. I think sometimes we should touch base. We should just, talk a little bit about what's going on in these mini episodes, where we can just be like, how are you doing today?
Yeah.
Where are you at right now? Because I do want to get to know the people, too. Because people,
for sure.
They've been reaching out. I've so enjoyed everyone's feedback. And it has really helped me, too, because I was so worried about just putting the podcast out there. Even though it's something that we have really enjoyed making and that we have really wanted to do, it's still, it's still a little scary.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Anyway, hearing from everyone has been really great. People love our sexy voices.
Oh, yeah.
And we startle babies, or we help startle babies. I think that should go on it'd be, the tagline for the show, like, Hailey Hates Everything, we startle babies. Something to get the people in, to be like,
Don't listen while the baby's sleeping.
Yeah. But, that's good, though. We startled the baby because the mom was laughing. So I find that as a win. I mean, obviously,
yeah.
We don't want to wake the baby, but we do want to entertain. I really enjoy that. And we'll be asking questions about... I don't want to say upcoming episodes because I won't know what's coming up and we can't really give it away in that sense. But kind of asking you guys questions about your thoughts on things, and we can kind of talk about that, go over some stuff, see where the people are at, how they're feeling, popular, unpopular opinions. Anyway, so we have conversations over on Instagram. You guys can follow us there.
Yeah.
And how else can they get in touch with us? I just want to do this up front so we get it all out of the way. While we're talking about feedback, you can email us at haileyhateseverything@gmail.com. If you just want to send Sean a hate that you want us to talk about and you don't want me to know, you can email him at, hate mail?
Yep.
At haileyhateseverything.com. Okay, that one I am not privy to. So I think we have a website now.
Yep.
Hailey Hates Everything.
Yep.
.com. And that's one of the fun things is you can go to the website if you want to contact us, if you need all of that information. Also, the podcast will post there, so if you want to listen from a website, you can use that. And we're going to have some little blog posts because sometimes visual things will go with these experiments like we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
And that way you can kind of see pictures, you can see more information instead of just hearing it. And we'll have relevant links if you want to end up doing these things or, checking out more information. It'll be like a normal blog post, and it'll be on our website, and it'll be for stuff that we talk about here. So I think that was everything I wanted to say. Am I missing anything?
Yeah, I think that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, see? Yeah. Sorry.
Should we get into the experiments?
Let's do it.
The life hacks? All right, so if you guys checked on Insta, you would have seen my cooler air conditioner that went up this week.
Oh, yeah, and I was totally wrong. It wasn't a styrofoam one, though the styrofoam one was in the tutorial you watched, right? Yeah. But you used a plastic one. I just want to put that out there in case people want to be like, excuse me. They're not going to remember, but I remember, so anxiety. Sometimes tangents will be brought to you by anxiety. So, yeah.
Apart from the cooler air conditioner, for this week, what I did want to try was the beet dyed shirt. We'll put pictures on the post on the website.
Yeah, so you guys remember, well, I don't know if y'all actually watched the video, but we'll have a screen cap of the guy's shirt from the video.
Yeah.
For the people who haven't seen it. But essentially, homeboy, broke-ass Bob, he decided to invite someone over for dinner, for a date. And when he went to go get dressed, he found a completely crisp, white button-down shirt with a 7-inch long grape jelly stain / boxed wine stain. We don't really know. I'm still going with grape jelly on this shirt. It had been ironed except for this giant grape jelly stain that he failed to get out. So he decides, instead of going to the store to buy, I'm just recapping here, instead of going to the store to buy a new shirt because he's only got $20 and he's spending 50% of that on his date, he decides to get beets that are just randomly in his kitchen, chop them up, and throw them in a pot with this white shirt to dye the shirt. And it comes out this beautifully even, gorgeous tone of mauve.
Yeah, it was.
And
like
I didn't buy it.
A deep, rich color, which
Yeah.
turned out to not be attainable at all.
No. So, so we're assuming this guy just did it right before his date.
Yeah.
And that was part of my issue, was like, it's got to be in there a long time to reach that deep color that it was dyed.
Yeah. In the video, they specifically said soak it for 20 minutes. So I did one shirt at 20 minutes, and then I did another shirt going by some instructions I found on a page we'll link. I soaked it for like 24 hours.
It was almost 2 days because you forgot about it in the morning.
A day and a half, probably. Something like that.
It was close to 2 days. We have very specific results that we can share and compare to Broke Ass Bob's. Because you also ended up soaking so you used 2 t-shirts and a pair of socks, right?
Yes.
So he soaked these items in a vinegar water solution, right?
The 20-minute shirt, I didn't do it.
Oh,
the 20-minute shirt, I did going off like what was in the video. Like, I just take a shirt, I throw it in there for 20 minutes, see what happens. And then the other shirt and the socks, I did going according to what the website said.
All right. And that was the vinegar soak.
Yes.
And that helps the fabric sort of hold on to the dye better.
Yeah, I think
that's the idea.
I think it like gets the fibers ready to take the dye better. Something like that.
And how long did you soak it in the vinegar solution?
So you do like the beets in a pot and simmer that for like a couple hours. And you also do the shirt in this vinegar water solution. And you simmer it the same amount of time.
See, all right, here's where we went wrong just now. Because I think we need to rewind and need to talk about the process before we get to the results.
Okay, yeah. So I think one of the things on the video is they said he spent like, I don't know, $269 on beets or something. So I did get...
I believe it was $248. Anxiety. You're welcome.
So I got, the only beets I could find were like organic beets, but even those, it was like a bunch of 3 for $2.99. So I got 2 sets just because I was doing multiple shirts.
So
$2.99.
6 beets.
Yeah.
And were we aware of how many he used in the video at
It
all?
looked like about 3, but his looked really big, and mine were kind of, I don't know, they didn't look huge. So
I thought they were just fine. They were the perfect size for you.
okay. So I chopped up the beets and then put those in a pot, got that up to boiling, and they simmer, and then let them simmer for a couple hours, and then you
Yeah,
take
it was
all
a good 2 hours, and
Yeah.
the house did not smell great.
Yeah.
I just want to say, beets are a very earthy. They're very earthy.
For
they
sure.
are of the earth through and through. And I will also say, because I was the one that had to strain the beets out of the pot before we put
Oh,
the
that's right, you did
shirts
that.
in, and I went ahead and had a taste of one because,
Oh, yeah.
generally speaking, hate beets. They're so disgusting. I don't like the cooked texture where it's like pickled beets where it's just kind of like wet
Yeah.
and sloppy.
I think that's what we've mostly tried were pickled beets.
Yeah, and I don't like that
No.
dirt taste. Not a fan.
But these ones weren't bad.
Well, I was getting to that, and you've
Okay.
already fucked up the punchline. Was that
Oh.
these beets weren't that bad? Who are these people? Why are you fucking up my joke? That's a terrible Seinfeld, but I do love to do impressions, and maybe one day I'll do my Chewbacca for you, and you will be blown the fuck away. You won't be able to handle it, because the Chewbacca, ooh lord. So,
Oh my god.
oh, just you wait. Oh, maybe it'll be my Christmas present to you all. It'll come out sooner than that, I'm sure. Where was I?
Tasted the beets.
Yeah, took a bite. It wasn't that bad. It
Yeah.
was actually pretty good. I ended up freezing them so I can use them in a soup later.
Yeah. Did you give some to the boys? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, the dogs like the beets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finji and, who is rather particular, and Dobby both enjoyed the beets very much. And I was really surprised about that. But they are my little healthy eaters. They love vegetables. I just found out they love broccoli, even though dogs shouldn't have that much broccoli because the florets have some kind of like
Yeah.
gastric intestinal irritant. But they love carrots. I don't want to say it too loud because they are here in the room, but they friggin' love carrots so much. So I thought, did I say that weird? Carrots. I don't know, y'all. That sounded
I
really
think that's
weird in my
fine.
ears. So I hope it didn't sound weird to yours, but it was really weird to my ears. Rewinding.
Got all the beet chunks out, and then I did the 20-minute shirt first, stuck that in, got it kind of submerged, let it soak for 20 minutes, and then I wrung it out and went and hung it up to air dry.
Right, and then you put the other t-shirt in, and the socks.
Yep.
And
Submerged
those were
them.
in for almost 2 days.
Yeah. And when those came out, like, the color looked pretty even, and it definitely wasn't anywhere close to what Dude's shirt looked like. No.
Oh no, so the first one looks kind of like it was rubbed with some pink chalk. Like it's just not even pink chalk either, like a salmon, like a sort of peachy pink.
Yeah.
It has this weird, like, dirty watercolor to it. You know, like when the water's kind of orange.
Or like...
You know, I'm talking like, it's just awful water.
Like some of that clay water or something,
Yeah.
Something like that, maybe.
Yeah, it's this very sort of pale pinky orange color that just looks dingy and dirty. And also the beet dye clings to any kind of stain on your shirt.
Yeah, so I kind of used some old, like, white undershirts that I've been, like, wearing when I do yard stuff. So I think I got some pit stains.
Yeah, they were not okay. So the dye ends up sticking to these stains, which is also, makes his experiment void because the dye would have stuck to that grape jelly stain.
Yeah, it
in
kinda
like
seems like it
it
would.
would have looked like a murder scene upon his
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah.
Because of the way the dye sticks to the stain.
Yeah, I think it probably would have just darkened that stain even more.
Yeah, especially around the edges and stuff. It clings to stains in this weird way. And so when you get to the other shirt comparatively, it's a little bit darker. It's more of a like mauvey pink color, but it sticks to the pit stains in a way that makes it look like you had your period on the armpit.
Bad.
And it's just like really odd the way that it settles in these stains, and the way in which when it dried, it had the lines and stuff in it. Like nothing was even. It wasn't even at all.
Yeah, I don't know if it needed to go in the dryer pretty much like right away to kind of set the color in an even way, but air drying it's still kind of like bled down.
They do look kind of tie-dyed, especially the
Yeah.
second one with the lines in it.
Yeah.
It seemed to adhere to everything, and then when it dries, there's these very, white parts of the shirt where it does have that kind of tie-dyed look to it. And with the socks even, the dye stuck to the little ribbed parts. So there's like dark parts around the top of the sock, but the rest of it is just like this very sort of pale mottled pink color.
Yeah. Also, I want to say the shirts kind of smelled like beets for at least 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
So, broke-ass Bob was totally smelled like beets.
Well, it would have gone with the fucking suspenders and the tight-ass jeans.
Maybe she's into, like, Dwight from The Office. She likes guys who smell like beets.
That could be, I guess. I didn't think about that.
Or maybe she's into Moe's.
Oh. Yeesh. I hope y'all like The Office. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm not going to judge. But I kind of will. Overall, like, in summary, this will not work.
Yeah.
Dyeing your shirt with beets will not result in the result that you want to result in.
The one thing I did do differently to try and, like, recover from this whole issue is the beets came with the full stems and the beet greens. So I went and found a recipe for beet greens, and I trimmed all the greens parts off, and the recipe said it kind of tasted like kale, but I think we both thought it tasted a lot more like collard greens.
Yeah, definitely. I was expecting more of a kale kind of bite and flavor to it, but it was definitely like collard greens to me.
Yeah, so basically I cut them, kind of did them into some strips, and then I blanched them, which is like you throw them in boiling water for a couple minutes so they get soft. Take them out, get them cold again, and then got a pan going with some olive oil, some garlic.
Was this a recipe you found?
Yeah, the link will be on the site.
Okay.
If you want to follow it. And then, just sauteed them after that, and they were actually the side to our next life hack.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the beet greens.
I
thought they were
quite
really tasty.
Yeah. So if you see just beet greens at the farmer's market or something, in case they're like, they kind of do them separately, they sell the beets and the beet greens.
We should go to the farmer's market and check it out.
Yeah, you can pick up some beet greens. They turn out pretty tasty.
Yeah, do it. I'd say go ahead.
Yeah.
Stop. Break time.
And we're back.
So that brings us to the next thing. Sean made the pizza lasagna. Now, I didn't think that this one was gonna... I thought the beet dyeing one was more believable than pizza lasagna.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I thought maybe if you just left the shirt in long enough, it would dye it. And the beet juice, the dye water is very dark.
The beet juice was quite dark.
So you would assume that it would do more of a job than it did. So the pizza thing, I was like, the crust isn't gonna taste like a friggin' lasagna noodle. You're gonna have... you couldn't, like, just play it off to someone as if it were lasagna. Like, there's no way it's gonna taste like lasagna. You ended up getting
I didn't want to like waste as much as Broke Ass Bob was by cutting off the whole crust on the end, Mm-hmm. So I was looking on Little Caesars because I figured, it looked kind of like a Little Caesars pizza. It
was flat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that Little Caesars had a thin crust pizza that had no crust around the outside. So I was like, ooh, perfect. Don't gotta do food waste. That works. And amazingly, it already came cut up into little squares. which worked perfectly. I didn't have to do any additional cutting, really. I just got two of their thin crust pepperonis and snacked on a little bit before making it.
Just a little bit.
That's a nice part. Is it, since they do cut into like squares, there's like tons of little like triangle ends and stuff around the side that you can snack on while it's still nice and warm.
Yeah. Because that was the day I had to film a lot.
Yeah.
Film a lot. Did I say that weird? Film. Film that day. Unboxings and shit, y'all. And it was a long day. And I was hungry. And that was the day that he brought home the pizza. So I was able to have a few.
We had some nice warm ones. And then basically I stuck the fresh pizza in the fridge to get cold.
Then he aged it a little bit.
Yes.
In the fridge.
Aged pepperoni pizza.
Indeed, yeah. And so, yeah, there were and the crust was really thin, and it wasn't like super crisp either, so it was already a little bit soggy. So, was that your bottom layer when you started? Like, how did you layer it? How'd you end up?
Yeah, so I didn't get as much, I don't know. I didn't want to go super duper cheesy on it. Mm-hmm. So I did a little bit of sauce on the very bottom. And then I did a layer of pizza. And then I did, let's see what I do. Oh, and then I think I did pizza sauce. And then I did ricotta. And then
you slopped it on too, like in the video, right?
I tried doing a slow-mo video, just slopping it
on.
And then I did, just a little bit of some extra shredded, I don't know, Italian style cheese or whatever, and then another layer of pizza sauce, ricotta, and then I did one top layer of pizza with a little bit of sauce and some cheese sprinkled on top.
Okay, that was a lot for me to remember.
3 layers of pizza.
Got it. 2 ricotta.
Yep.
3 sauce.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
Cheese.
And then stuck that into the oven. The recipe that I found said cook it at 350 for 20 minutes with the foil on it covered. Then you take the foil off and you cook it for another 10 minutes. But I think I cooked it for probably 40 minutes total. And honestly, it still wasn't even quite hot in the middle.
Yeah, no, it was still a little cool in the middle. I would do like at least 375.
Yeah.
For at least half an hour.
Covered.
Yeah. And then you could like put it on broil and let that cheese bubble up on top.
Yeah, that might work, yeah.
Mwah, chef's kiss. And I do think it needed a little more seasoning and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, if I was really making it, some oregano and stuff would have been good. I'm just saying,
it was a little bland.
Yeah. But overall,
just doing it that way.
What did you think?
Well, it's hard for me to admit when I'm wrong, folks. But you're hearing it here first. I enjoyed the pizza lasagna. I thought it was tasty. It was very comforting.
Yeah.
Man, it was comforting. It was very high on the dairy. But it was extremely tasty. I mean, like I said, it needed a little zhuzh.
Yeah.
I would have been, I think if you want to take it up a notch, make sure you got the seasoning going on. Add some garlic, add Italian seasoning, do it up. But also like some ground beef.
Yeah.
Some seasoned ground beef in there. Take it up a notch.
Yeah, this was just pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, so it needs some jazz to it if you really want to impress.
Yeah.
But just as it was very comforting and, delightful. And I will say that the crust did imitate lasagna noodles in flavor and texture.
At least with the thin crust, I think it turned out really good. I kind of think most of like Little Caesars pizza is pretty thin crust. This one didn't have any crust on the ends. Do you think a regular Little Caesars is thicker?
Sean, this is the first Little Caesars pizza I've had in
I
years.
You're right. Yeah, true.
A long time, maybe even over a decade. So, I don't know. I'm not a Little Caesars aficionado. But with this particular crust, it was still thick enough that it was more like a lasagna noodle, but it was floppy enough where you felt like it was a lasagna noodle. I feel like you could make this with this thin crust pizza and take it to someone's house for dinner
Huh?
and play it off as if you made lasagna. Because we all know lasagna noodles are a friggin' nightmare. I
Yeah.
don't like cooking them.
This might be a good, like, if you gotta go to like some sports game show, like
What?
a football
Oh,
thing or
I was like,
something.
what is a freaking sports game show? What is that? Hate it
I thought
already.
you would understand that.
No, a sports ball.
Sports ball.
Any kind of sports ball competition show. There you go. I get that.
I think some dudes, you could really impress some dudes being
Oh,
like,
you could impress
this is
the fuck
pizza
out of dudes.
lasagna.
So, see, again, it could pass as a decent dinner. However, I would buy it more as her making that for him and him being impressed
Oh, yeah.
than him making that for her and her being impressed.
Yeah, true.
Because, yeah, I think you could really, especially a guy who knows, like maybe he's watched his mom make lasagna a million times and he knows how long it takes. And then you're like, I made you lasagna. I think you could blow his mind. He'd
Dude.
be like, oh, damn.
Or even kids. I bet kids would probably love pizza lasagna.
Maybe if you emphasize the pizza,
Yeah.
right? I don't know
Yeah.
about kids. I don't know anything
I don't know,
about
you
kids.
might be able to throw a little bit of spinach in there, get away with it, because it is pizza.
I've heard of kids who don't like French fries, so I don't trust kids' opinions on food. Quite honestly. Because
don't
if
like
you don't like
French
a
fries.
French fry, what is wrong with you? It is delicious potatoes covered in salt. Oh my God, it's like so good. French fries. Oh man, I could go for some French fries right now. I will tell you that. Just some hot ass French fries.
You get dip it in a Frosty.
No, not today.
That was a one-day thing.
Yeah, no, so I've been very anti-fry dipping in the Frosty, but I have done it a couple of times and it has its place. I'm not crazy about it, but yesterday I just immediately had this idea of dipping fries in a Frosty. Didn't get to, probably won't for a while, but it just popped into my head and I was like, oh, you know what? Right now I would dip some fries in a Frosty. But today, no. I just want hot-ass French fries. One day, I'll get some hot-ass French fries. It won't be today. So yeah, I really, really enjoy the pizza lasagna. And I do think it's a doable thing.
I really thought, like, you go to cut into it, and it's just gonna squirt sauce and ricotta just, like, everywhere. That's what I imagined was, like...
That's so graphic.
Like, when you make, like, I don't know. I always have it when I have a sandwich with avocado in it, It just, like, if it's like avocado slices, it just smushes right out for me.
I think a lot of that, too, is the way you hold it. You like, smush into it and then you bite it. Whereas I have to bite it to hold on, and then I, like, smush it together so it doesn't leak out the back. Because then my teeth don't chomp through. It's a whole situation. But yeah, sometimes avocado, tomatoes, sometimes
yeah.
they'll get all... So you thought it was going to be a juicier situation?
Yeah, I thought it was just gonna, like, cut into it and it just smushes right out the end, That's what I imagined was gonna happen. I thought it was gonna be a mess. Like, I imagine this being like, you do this for a date, and then you cut into it and it just, like...
Oh, you're talking about it's just like a lasagna soup? Just like a cheesy lasagna
Yeah,
soupy
I don't know.
situation?
Like, I thought the crust would be more stiff, so it'd be more like smushing the crusts together and pushing the sauce out.
Yeah,
and it would,
say
like,
that again.
It'd like squirt on you, and then he's got more stains on his
Stiff,
shirt.
Smushy, squirty. I'm getting a picture in my head
Oh my God.
of just this hot, cheesy situation. He's still silent, folks. He can't get his wits about him. Tell me again about that hard, smushy, soft, squirty lasagna.
Okay. All right, yeah, you went too far there.
Why is that too far?
You crack me up.
So that's interesting that you thought it would be a messier situation.
Yeah, for sure.
I did think that maybe the crust would help kind of keep everything together. I thought it would be more of like maybe it would suck up some of the sauce a little more.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe if you had used like fresh tomatoes and that kind of thing, it might have been messier. Maybe a sauce with a thinner texture would have been messier. So yeah, it was pretty easy to get out of the pan.
It was pretty good way to go.
Yeah,
I would say it's approved.
Hailey approved.
All right, I think that's it for our Hack My Life follow-up.
I think we're way too chill this episode. I think we need to step up the energy. I feel like we've just been like, hey bruh, how you doing? We're just having a drink and we're just talking about pizza. Oh yeah, man, we love that. It's so cool. I feel like that's the energy that we're giving the people this week. And I am like not into it. I think we need to step up the energy. I think we need to be highfalutin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I know that highfalutin doesn't go with pot. So I don't know how slow I actually talked, but it felt real chill.
We gotta get like a metronome going so we can talk really fast and be sure that we're hitting all the beats.
You want to talk about going too far? That was weird. Your eyes got all big. You just looked freaked out. That was really strange.
That's what happens when you summon the Micro Machines man.
Oh dear God, that guy? Oh, that's who you were being? Oh, you gotta work on that one.
I remember in like middle school.
No, the Micro Machines guy was like the jam. People loved him.
Yeah, I remember a teacher playing. He read some book or something like that. And it was Micro Machines man reading a book or something. And it was just like super fast.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, that guy was huge, like, when Micro Machines were coming out, so.
Yeah, he was trying to sell Micro Machines.
Maybe we'll add a video to the Micro Machine Man in the post.
Okay.
Just in case you aren't familiar with the Micro Machine Man.
Oh, man. What's the cutoff age for not remembering the Micro Machine Man?
Probably like a year younger than you.
I bet them... What? Oh, dear God. No, I bet the millennials don't know what the Micro Machine Man is.
Yeah, probably not.
All right, well, we'll educate you. So we'll put it on the website so you can see it. We'll find it. And everything's on YouTube. It's got to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Can I just put out, what is the thing? I can't find this on YouTube, and I need it. If you were at the Portland, Oregon New Kids on the Block mixtape tour in 2019, June 2nd, I believe it was the date. I hope that you have video of the end of Remix, because I was singing into Donnie's microphone and nobody has it on YouTube, but I can't find it and I need to see it again so I know that it was real. Because I sang into Donnie's microphone. Nobody seems to have recorded it ever in the world. So YouTube, I'm putting the word out. Donnie Wahlberg, Remix, Portland, Oregon, mixtape tour. I needs it.
I wonder if Donnie has access to the recordings from all the shows. If he can, like, go find that from, the big screens and all that jazz, and go find the footage.
Donnie Wahlberg.
Yep,
hey,
there you go.
Hey, sup? Remember me? I got irresistible eyes, and I think you're cool. And you can be on our show and talk about things that you hate, even though that's not normally something that you do. And maybe you can go back to the tapes, Donnie, and find that moment in time. Thank you.
And I'd just like to say, it's not about being hard. It's about being smart.
You sucker. Oh, shit, that was good. I did not expect that from you, and that was good. That was a New Kids reference. If you don't get it, whatever. But I'm impressed. That was good. Anyway, we should probably let them go. We've just rattled on, and I do enjoy doing these experiments and talking about the stuff. So I don't know what you're going to choose in the future, but whenever we have a situation where we can, check up on some of these things, I don't even like to call them hacks, because it's just doing something with the least amount of things. You know what I mean? Like... I just can't stand it. I did enjoy doing that and seeing what the actual result was in comparison to what they presented to us. Because I knew most of that shit was a lie, y'all. I knew it. I called it. I admit that I was wrong about the pizza lasagna.
Maybe them cheese candles are good.
Sean, you've gone too far. That's going too far.
All right, everybody. We'll let you go. Remember to hit HaileyHatesEverything.com. You can find links to everything there.
I hate to say goodbye, but we'll see you next time.
Boom.